Start in the middle. 4 had all 3 apps, so where should I put that number 4? Dead center, yeah? Okay. Alright. 4 had all 3 apps. 6 had Netflix and Air Sport. So what do I need to do there? Do I put 6 here? 2. Yeah, I have to put 2 in because it's 4 plus 2. Next one. 7 had Spotify and Air. So what's that? 3. And then what's next? 18 had Spotify and Netflix. 14. Right. 10 had Air Sport in total. So what's that mean? 1 on the outsides. Okay. How many had Spotify? 61. So 61 take 14. What's it else? Take 4, take 3. What you say it was? 40. And then the last one, 50 had Netflix. 30 when you take it away. Excellent. That was easy. That was a bit too simple almost. Okay. How many students don't downloaded none of the apps? Adds up to 94 and there'd be 6 on the outside, okay? So we go for 6. What's the probability that a student chosen at random had downloaded only one of the apps? Only one? 71. Out of how many? Okay. And what's part D? What's the probability that a student chosen at random had downloaded 2 or more? What's 2 or more? Yeah. 23, is it? 23 out of 100. We're okay with that? Now, we have solved this equation, corrected 2 decimal places. I would suggest you use the minus b formula. And what I'd like you guys to do, here it is. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put in empty brackets. And you're definitely going to use your calculator. You get marks for just putting down the formula. And then you get a lot of marks for inputting the numbers in. What's my A value for this question? 3. My B value? Minus 5. My minus B value? My C value? 1. Okay, let's find out 2 decimal places, yeah? Okay, so B is, minus B is 5. Then this one's minus 5. That's 3. That's 1. That's 2 times 3. We throw it all into the calculator. SF, do you want my calculator? What? Yeah, exactly. Now, who got 1.43? 2 decimals. And then subtract. Okay. 0.23. Now, gents, everybody listening? Do you see those 2 answers? Okay. Are you all listening? Guys, listen up for a sec. Now, anytime you see a positive x squared, see it's the way it's not minus 3x squared. See the way it's plus 3x squared. That means it's a U-shaped function. If I was to draw that using my calculator, it would be U-shaped. And guess where it crossed the axis? Guess what 2 spots it hits the axis at? It hits it at 0.23 and 1 point. That's because you solved that at 0. That's because you solved the y value at 0. You know where it hits the x-axis now, okay? So if we go down a page, all right, it gives us the same formula, doesn't it? Would you all agree with that? It gives us the same formula and goes, using only your answer from A above, identify the correct graph and justify your answer. Now, if this is a junior cert test, what I could also do is I could go to my table function. Does everybody remember the table function? And I could do 3x squared minus 5x plus 1. Where should I start? Anybody? I can start at minus 2, couldn't I? Where should I end? end at 3. And guess what will happen? The points that I get on my calculator will match one of the points on the graph. See 0, 1? There's 0, 1 there, isn't it? What's the next one? 1 minus 1? That's that point there, isn't it? And what's that last point? 2, 3? Ah, look, lads, it's clearly C, isn't it? Now, the choice is C. You're not allowed to say, I put it into the calculator and found out. You have to explain why. Now, here's what we're going to say. Positive 3x squared is a U-shaped graph. What does that rule out? That rules out the first choice. The curve, where does the curve have to intercept the lines? The curve has to intercept at, the curve has to intercept at 0.23 and 1.43. So it has to intercept the x-axis. And is that correct? That's about 0.2, isn't it? So that blue dot is about 0.2 and the other blue dot is about 1.4. And that proves what we're talking about. Okay, f of x equals x squared. That's a U-shaped graph that peaks at 0, 0. So what do we reckon? C. And for that reason, U-shaped graph with minimum point 0, 0. Okay, x squared minus 3. What do we think about that one? Whatever the y value was of C, it should be 3 under. Should be 3 underneath, shouldn't it? So it's nearly the exact same reason as the last one. So just give me a sec. It's nearly the exact same reason as the last one, except your minimum point is no longer 0, 0. What is it? It's 0 minus 3. So for me, that's B. That's 0 minus 3 right there. Okay. It's a U-shaped graph with minimum point 0 minus 3. Is that okay? Yes. Yeah. Lads, what's the difference with H and G? What's the big difference between H and G? H is the -1 version. It's what happens when you multiply a graph by -1. What happens to it? N shaper changes to U shaper. So H is the opposite of H. That one is the opposite of B. So what's the opposite of B? E. See, yeah, but look. Do you see the way that green line? See those two green lines? They're the same distance. It's also the same width. So it's got to be E. And the reason being, N-shaped graph, their mirror image. What does mirror image mean? Mirror image flipped of B. Now, we already discussed what happens when you do x minus 2. Does that shift it 2 to the left or 2 to the right? 2 to the right. Same as C, but 2 to the right. We all good? And what do we say that one is? Huh? A. Now, I'm going to take the lazy way out of this one. What can we just say? Was it? D. Only graph not used. I'm feeling like not used. You could also say it's an N-shaped graph because you know they're going to be a minus x squared. Sorry, guys. I got this mixed up. It's not AD, it's DA, because D is U-shaped, similar to C. All right. Now, guys, this one here. Here's what I want you all to do. I want you all to go to your table function, okay? Now, instead of using this formula here, where h is minus 2s squared plus 8s plus 1, here's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to use the formula f of x equals minus 2x squared plus 8x plus 1. I want you to start at 0. I want you to end at 4.5. And I want you to do a step of 0.5. Right. Now, here we go. Minus 2x squared plus 8x plus 1. Starts at 0, goes up in ends at 4.5, and has a step of 0.5. Why did I use a step of 0.5? To get the 4.5. Otherwise, I would have skipped straight from 4 to 5. I'm going to put in the numbers that I want. 0, 1. What's the next one? 1, 7. 2, what? 2, 9, yeah. 3, what? 4, what? And 4.5? Oof. Interesting. Okay, now get this, right? What we're trying to say is that this hurler, okay, I'll just take a picture of him again. Probably sport Sean on his standard Wednesday, right? Is doing his thing, right? And here's what happens, okay? So when Sean hits the ball, it's basically 1 meter above ground. See this point here? That is 1 meter above ground. 0, 1 means 1 meter above ground. Then after 1 second, the ball is 7 meters above ground. Then after 2 seconds, it's 9 meters above ground. Then after 3 seconds, it's back to 7 meters above ground. After 4 seconds, it's back to 1 meter above ground. Can anybody tell me what's wrong with the answer for 4.5? So, if you imagine this is the pitch, this is the ground. 4.5 and minus 3.5, what would that actually mean? That actually mean that the ball fell into a 3-meter hole into the ground. Does that make sense? That, unless it's the worst kept pitch in the world, that simply can't happen. It should normally stop at 0, ground level. Do those points make sense in the context of the question? Now, see what I just drew? We have to draw this up here. What's the first one again? 0 what? 0, 1, is it? What? 1 what? 1, 7. 2 what? 9. 3. 7. 4, 1. 5 and minus 3, minus 3.5. Everybody draw your graph. It's an N-shaped graph. 4.5. Ah, thank you. Yeah. Yeah? Thanks. Everybody happy enough with that? Yeah. So, you're going to copy and paste this over. Use your graph to do the following. Okay, going to shrink this down slightly. Okay. So, use your graph to get the initial height of the slitter. What's the initial height of the slitter, lads? 0 and what? 1. 1 meter above ground. So that's where the height you hit it above the ground is 1 meter. Okay. After how many seconds did the slitter hit the ground? Well, where does it hit the 0 mark? What do you think this is? Roughly what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2.2. It'd be like 2.2, 2.4, 2.6, 2.83. 3.2, 3.4, 3.6, 3.84. Who went for 4.2? About 4.2 ish? Yeah, somewhere in that range. What was the highest height of the splitter? The blue point. 9 meters above ground. You all cool with that? Not too bad, was it? So, finally, last one. Question D here. Okay. Now, okay, this is difficult. Okay, so we're going to give this a crack. Ready? All right. Pick a point on the graph. Any point you want. Which point do you want? Can I pick this point here? What's the blue point? 1, 2. Do you know what this means? It means the h value, don't mind the hs there, it's h equals minus s squared plus as. Now s is the x-axis and h is the y-axis. When the s value is 1, the h value is, would you all agree with that? So just plug it in. Replace h with 2 and replace s with 1 and see what happens to your a value. What do you think goes down? Anybody know the answer? An a value of what? Anybody know? A value of? 3. Okay. Is that the end of that question?